Conservation is never ending. Memphis Zoo just said goodbye to its male polar bear of 15 years, Peyton, only to welcome a new male into the family, Coda. Coda's arrival to Memphis is not only important for the city, but also for the sake of all polar bears in captivity. Being able to safely and effectively reproduce polar bears in zoos across the United States not only helps contribute to the population directly, but also assist researchers in their study of the bears living in the wild.
2 days ago, Dr. Felicia Knightley and I drove to Pittsburgh from Memphis over the course of 2 days. This allowed us to touch base in person with Coda's animal care team, as well as be there for the load and, most importantly, transport him back on FedEx. So what happened this morning, we woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning, Memphis time. We were at the zoo. He had been crated overnight by his team, and we were there to watch the crate go on the truck. We followed the truck to the Pittsburgh airport, and we were there when it was loaded onto the FedEx flight. Dr. Knightley and I rode jump seats on the flight, which allows us to go back into the cargo area and check on Coda during the flight. He did really, really well for the entire procedure. All told, he was in his crate for about 14 or 15 hours, but he was really calm. He actually laid out on his side for most of the crate. We were able to keep an eye on his rests. We were able to give him water during the flight, which he gulped down. So he really did well. We were pretty pleased with it. Yeah, this. Theoretically, those tape marks are where we want, so he's pretty much right on line.
You got this much between the sink.
Yeah, like he should be going out, and then this door should be closing.
Right.
Like we don't have to be in a rush.
We're gonna close this door.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's a good
He's
boy.
shut out, that's all.
Good boy. That looks good.
Hi, handsome.
He's like, yay, I'm here.
He looks really comfortable. He was very interested in drinking water right away. And another great thing is actually Jennifer Funk is a keeper from Pittsburgh who traveled very early this morning to meet us here in Memphis, and she'll be here for the next several days working with our team to help transition Coda to our care as seamlessly as possible.
Coda's first month in Memphis has been anything but boring. From a historic Mid-South snowstorm to meeting his new mate, Coda's first month at Memphis Zoo has been pretty eventful.
So Koda arrived in Memphis at the end of January, and he's been adjusting really well. We've been really happy with how well he has fit into our management practices here at the Memphis Zoo. So since Koda has arrived here in Memphis, our polar bear keepers have been able to spend a lot of time getting to know him. And he's a really good-natured bear. He really loves participating in his training sessions, and he has quite a few behaviors in his repertoire. The keepers at the Pittsburgh Zoo that have spent many years with him did a whole lot of great work with him, and they put in a lot of effort, and it shows. Koda's personality is a really fun one. He's really good-natured. He really enjoys interacting with his keepers. Makes him a great individual for our training program. He also really loves playing with a lot of the toys. It's really fun to see him discover some of the new toys that we have here in Memphis that he hasn't been exposed to before. And he is really just a fun bear, a fun, playful bear.
A first meeting with a mate is always unique. In the wild, there can be several suitors for a female, but in zoos there is only one, which is why great care and consideration must be taken to know who will likely be able to reproduce and have polar bear cubs. Koda and Haley meeting for the first time is set in stages. First, they are allowed to be in the same night house at the same time. Coda can clearly smell Haley and would love nothing more than to say hi. But the keepers and staff at Memphis Zoo must take their time when introducing two new polar bears together. After a week of being able to smell each other, the two bears are able to see each other at a distance for the first time. This is called the howdy. The next step in the howdy process is to allow them to share a mesh barrier, which allows face-to-face meeting and a more protected form of contact. After another week of being able to see each other face-to-face, it's time to finally be together on exhibit. It's love at first sight. Koda and Haley will spend regular time on exhibit together through breeding season. Springtime is the time for all polar bears to be breeding, and Koda and Haley are no different. They love spending time together on exhibit. If all goes well, Haley will be looking to den for the fall, preparing for her cub to be born over the winter. It's a long process for polar bears to have new cubs, and keepers are often unable to determine if Haley is pregnant until the cub arrives. For now, it's a waiting game.